Hey everyone, for today's video I wanted to do something a little bit different, so I decided to screen record myself while editing an entire photo shoot from beginning to end. So normally what I like to do is select one photo and then use it to do a Lightroom or a Photoshop tutorial for you guys. But I thought it would be really interesting to show you my process of editing an entire series of photos and all the different programs that I use to edit and talk over what my thought process is. I also thought that these kinds of videos would be a really great way for me to be able to discuss a little bit more about the actual photo shoot and let you know if we ran into any problems or what my thought process was behind particular photos or the location and little things like that. So hopefully you can learn a little bit from this video, maybe get some inspiration from the way that I edit or some new ideas of something that you could do next time you're editing a photo shoot. So please let me know in the comments if you guys enjoy these kinds of videos and if you'd like to see me do more. So a little bit about this photo shoot. This photo shoot was shot on the Sony A7III camera body, and then I also hired the Sigma 85mm 1.4 art lens. And I got the Canon mount Sigma lens and used it with the Metabones 4 adapter on the Sony. And I was so impressed with how fast the lens worked on the Sony body. It really felt like I was using a native lens, which is amazing. If you guys haven't watched the behind the scenes for this photo shoot yet, I just uploaded it last Wednesday, so please take a look at my last upload and watch the video so you can see how that all worked on the day. I feel like the model for this photo shoot, Zella, was moving around quite fast, so I was really lucky that the Sigma worked so well on the Sony because I was able to follow her around with her movements, and the eye focusing and face detection worked absolutely amazingly throughout the entire photo shoot. So talking a little bit more about what we're doing up here on the screen at the moment, I actually went through the selection process of this entire photo shoot on a live stream, which is also up on my channel, and I'll leave a link down in the description if you want to watch my selection of this photo shoot. But once I've got all my final photos that I really love and want to edit, I will import them all into Lightroom. Then in Lightroom, I'll play around with all the different Lightroom presets that I have, and for this photo shoot, I felt that the Amalfi preset worked so perfectly to capture that kind of like warm, summery feel to the photos, but still keeping it quite natural and vibrant. And yeah, I just really felt like it suited these photos. So if you guys want to take a look, the Amalfi preset is available if you guys want to use it as well. So I'll leave that link down below too. So what I do in Lightroom is pretty straightforward. I'll apply the preset to one photo and adjust the exposure and the highlights and the shadows just to make sure it looks perfect. Then I'll sync those settings over to the rest of the photos in the photo shoot and just go through them one by one and again adjust the exposure, sometimes the white balance, the shadows and the highlights until the photo looks completely finished. So what we're doing at the moment is I have Adobe Bridge open and I'm basically using it to be able to select what my final photos to be edited will be from this photo shoot. So I think we had over 30 images that I colored and exported. So what I wanted to do was kind of select all the photos that looked similar. So at the moment I'm giving a 1 star to all the smiling shots. So I'm looking at all the smiling photos and comparing them and deleting the ones that look too similar. So this way I'll have a really strong final set of images that aren't too repetitive and are kind of like the best of the best shots that we took on the day. And here I'm doing the same thing again and giving 1 star to all the more serious kind of close-up shots. And then again, we're just going to open up all of those photos and go through them one by one, really compare what they look like and delete the less stronger image. Ideally from a little shoot like this shoot was about an hour long on location. I do like to edit between 10 to 20 photos to have as the final set of images. So this program now is a new part of my workflow that I recently added and I'm really excited to talk about. This is a new program called Narrative app, and it's basically a really interactive and easy way to make blog posts for your photos. I actually purchased this app to be able to make wedding blog posts since you have to kind of put together so many images. I used to do it manually in Photoshop, but that would take me so long. With this app, you basically have your gallery of images to the left, then you double click them and they appear in like a blog post format to the right. And then you can kind of like click and drag the images and put them side by side and then export that and upload those photos. So it basically just makes that process so much quicker, which I love. And another great thing about it that I've been doing recently is using it to be able to select my final photos. For me, I am quite a visual, like hands-on kind of person. So I feel like seeing my images in that final blog post look really helps me decide which ones are the strongest images that need to get edited and which images can sort of be left behind and aren't really that important because they're not as strong. So yeah, that's just basically something new that I've been doing that I feel like has been really helping me out in being able to select like the best final photos to edit. So once I've done all that and I've got all the images that I want to edit, I think we ended up selecting about 15 to 20 images in total. I open up every single image that I have and retouch them in Photoshop. When I'm retouching in Photoshop, I like to keep it looking as natural as possible. So I really like retaining natural skin texture. And I also try not to get rid of any kind of like freckles and things like that that really make someone who they are. So a couple of ways that I do this and some tips that I have for you guys is I love using frequency separation to retouch. And I know I've mentioned this a few times in my videos, and I promise I'm going to make an updated retouching video about that. But in case you just want to learn about it now, I do have a tutorial about how I do this skin retouching, and I'll leave it linked down below. I also have a free Photoshop action which automatically does the frequency separation layers for you. And I've been using that throughout this video that you're watching right now. I pretty much open my image and press play on the action, and it saves you so much time not having to do it manually every single time, which is great. So a couple of tips that I have to keep your retouching really natural is to use a small of a brush as possible when you're editing. I feel like sometimes when I just want to get the edit done and maybe I'm like trying to rush a little bit, I end up using a kind of a big brush and it makes the retouching look really unnatural and really obvious. So I feel like one of the best things that I've learned over time is to use a really small brush because it makes you have a little bit more patience and you're a little bit more precise in the way you're editing. So it ends up looking a lot better in the end run. But that is pretty much my process of editing. I really hope you guys enjoyed watching my entire editing process. I did record one more photo shoot editing beginning to end, so there will be another one of these videos really soon. So I really hope you guys like this and enjoyed it. There's so much more to talk about, so there'll be plenty more information in the other video as well. But as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys all next time. Bye!